Hello, this is Motor Cars, the main line. For your consideration, we have this 1973 Porsche 911S. Now, in 1973, 911s in standard production came in three flavors, T, E, and S. This is the S. The S was the highest performing option, and this is a spectacular, fully restored example of the breed. The car comes with a certificate of authenticity from Porsche North America, establishing this original Irish green paint job is correct to the car. Now, this is recently reapplied with the restoration, wet sanded, beautiful, flawless, no orange peel. The car also features an original black leather and houndstooth interior, and the documentation from Porsche marries the engine and the transmission and the car together. So we're going to start where every 911 begins, out back in the engine compartment. Thank you so much, Mike. You can see inside the engine compartment, we have one of the factory options, front and center. This is an original factory air conditioning car that is established by the certificate of authenticity. You can see the compressor right there. Next to it, we have an engine that is branded 2.4. If you look at the rear deck, you can see that's a little bit of a fib. It's actually 2,341 cc's, but what's important is that it's got it where it counts. If you convert the DIN to US horsepower, it's roughly 187 horsepower and just over 150 pound-feet of torque. Now, why is that important? It's important because this car weighs between 2,300 and 2,400 pounds. So with the engine over the driving wheels and some real scoot, this thing can boogie. If you wanted to go faster in 1973 in the US, you needed a Ferrari Daytona or a Lamborghini Miura. And on a winding road, even they couldn't keep up with this. Now, it's got fuel injection, so unlike a lot of 1970s era cars, the car starts easily, it idles well, and the throttle response is crisp. The engine is paired with a 915 style manual transmission, and that replaced the older 901. It's desirable on a couple of levels. First, it's more durable. It's a stronger transmission for a more powerful engine. And then second, it has more of a conventional H pattern. It's not like the old dogleg in the 901. So you've got a potent engine that's fuel injected, heady stuff, almost 190 horsepower. You got to remember, there were 8.2 liter Cadillacs wheezing around in the 70s with 190 horsepower and 5,000 pounds. This thing can flat out move. It's still quick by modern car standards, and you can't say that often of 1970s sports cars. Taking a quick look, we'll get a little bit more detail. You'll notice it is immaculately detailed. It is surgically clean. Everything in its place, everything correct, right down to the application of stickers, tags, and identification from the factory, detailing clearances, specifications, and best practices. Taking a quick look now, we're going to fly over the rear. You can see some of the interesting features of the 73. For 73, we got turn signal surrounds front and rear, as well as the rear deck with a black treatment that makes for nice color contrast. Now, the 1-year 1972 quarter panel oil filter is gone, so no need to worry about a gas station attendant putting gasoline in your oil. But you can see the most important aesthetic feature of these cars from 1973 is that this was the last of the thin bumpers. So if you love that classic 911 look, this was the end of the line for a while at least. And after this, the regulations took hold. Porsche had to conform. The cars became a lot visually heavier. This is beautiful, delicate, and true to the original design. You can also see we've got Fuchs style wheels right here, aluminum alloy. These are beautiful pieces. You can see the condition is outstanding at all four corners, and these tires have 2022 date codes, so they are good to go and roll. They are period replica, and you can see they are beautifully matched to the ambiance of the car. Taking a look at the discs through the rotors, you can see that they too are absolutely antiseptic. The car's in great shape front and rear. You can see that the metal down both sides has zero crimping, no waves, nothing uneven, nothing that Stuttgart itself wouldn't have embraced. It is a beautifully preserved car ready to roll. Now we're going to open up the trunk. We'll take a quick look what's under here. It actually has a usable amount of space. You're going to find that this is a car that's very drivable. If you want to use it for vintage touring, if you want to use it for road rallies, it's ready to go. Low miles since the restoration, and as you can see internally, all sorts of clean trim, beautifully detailed, turned out accessories. This car, I should mention, has all the original books, papers, 2 keys, and toolkits. So you're not just getting the car, you're getting everything that came with the car. And again, with almost 190 horsepower and 2,300 to 2,400 pounds, this is an incredibly light car. It's even more extreme than you think because the final drive ratio is 4.428 to 1, which which in any other context would be like drag racer gearing, this thing can absolutely go. Taking a look now, we're going to move into the interior of the car, and you can see this is where the car, though restored, it features a little bit more of its original trim and fabric. This is a original factory black leather with houndstooth trim car. You can see everything is perfectly stitched. The seams are all closed. There's no cracking, peeling. There's no tears. The car is absolutely antiseptic in the interior. Taking a quick look at the door card, you'll find everything is as it should be. And my God, is that a breath of fresh air. A German car with a roll-up window. Modern German cars, they go through window regulators like sailors ashore go through liquor. So to see that, it's a wonderful little omen of good times to come, and nothing more than routine maintenance required. No electronic histrionics. This is a pure mechanical analog car. We've got a classical in-dash ignition right here. You can see this car's factory air conditioning. The air conditioning blows cold, no issues there. Taking a look at the dashboard, now you have the classic 911 5-instrument layout. It's really 5 different pods because there's more than one instrument in several of these. We'll talk about that in a moment. Here is the promised 915 shift pattern, H pattern, 5 gears, primarily to make up for that incredibly low final drive. You've got that 5th gear for use on the highway to keep revs down. Taking a look at the fabric of the passenger seat right here, as well as the carpet, you can see it's exactly what you would expect at this price point with this level of presentation. It's turned out beautifully. Taking a look at the headliner, we're going to do a fly around to the headliner so you can see that the headliner is even, clean, shows 0 sag, and professionally turned out from end to end. This is a headliner to be proud of, and this is a car that reflects love, care, and money spent on its restoration. Taking a quick look at the back seats, you can see they're primarily symbolic, though you can fit 2 kids back there. They're exceptional for extending the car's range if you want to use it for vintage touring or road trips. So we'll take a quick look through the back area, get a sense of the rear seats. They have the appearance of having more or less never been occupied. We'll take a look at the rear shelf. That too is in great condition. Flying back around substantively, let's look at the dashboard. The most important thing about these early 911s is that they are driver's cars and they're performance cars first. So the tachometer, or the engine speed, gets pride of place right in the middle. Now later on with the 964s and the 993s, you'd have bigger engines. You'd lose some of the top end rev range. But on these older 2.4s, you could see that the red line is well over 7,000. So if you want to rip this thing down the local strip in 2nd gear and ride it all the way to red line, you will be the hero of every kid on that block. Moving back a little bit, a lot of folks understand that manual transmissions denote enthusiast value today. Fewer, but still a large number, understand that naturally aspirated engines are becoming a thing of the past too, and increasingly naturally aspirated engines are the new manual transmissions. But the other mark of an enthusiast car that a lot of folks haven't figured out yet is full instrumentation. So in this car, you can see we've got engine speed, we've got both oil temperature and oil pressure. You can see we've got the pressure and the temp of the oil right here. So with coolant, oil pressure, and oil temperature, we've got full instrumentation, and then we've got over here a Porsche Classic Communications Management System. So what is this? Well, this is a system developed by Porsche itself as a slide-in replacement for the original Blaupunkt. So it doesn't require any carpentry to the dashboard. What happens is the DIN1 connection on the back that would link to the radio powers up this Bluetooth-compatible native navigation phone mirroring touchscreen system. And it uses the same cutout in the dashboard as the original radio. So if you want to revert, there's no damage to the car. There's nothing that you need to reconstruct. You just slide the old module in and this comes out. Now this is a 4-figure option, not including installation. It's got a 3.5-inch touchscreen, and that 3.5-inch touchscreen allows you to skip the use of the knobs and the buttons if you don't want to. But what it'll do that's probably most useful to a modern audience is it will sync with your phone. So if you want to use Apple CarPlay, if you want to use the apps on your phone, if you want to use the Apple navigation, or you want to use some sort of Google Earth app, you can do all of that here. You can also use it for phone calls. It's got a lot of compatibility. It has a 3mm aux. It's got an SD card compatible link. You can see if we fly around the system, is straightforward, aesthetically matched to the vintage interior, and it can also pair up by Bluetooth. So if you can't use a 3mm aux or a classical USB, or you can't use an SD card, you can still pair it wirelessly to your device. So it's a very important thing to know. If you want the modern car experience, everything from phone mirroring to satellite radio to touchscreen convenience, this is going to give you that. We're going to now move back, take a quick look at some of the controls and condition in between the console area. Right up past the shifter, you can see the shift boot is in outstanding condition. Take a look at the car from within. Get a look through the window. Windshields, flanks, you can see all the bright work is in outstanding condition. And then that classic Porsche 911 view down the hood. What you want to do next, if you're looking for details, is you want to check out Motor Cars of the Main Line online. Find the website, call the number, reach out for additional details, documentation, history, photos, and pricing. This is Motor Cars of the Main Line with a 1973 fully restored Porsche 911S. And that's your parting shot there. 18,675 miles on the engine since the rebuild and restoration. Check out Motor Cars of the Main Line for more.